Hey, everybody, this is Matt from Cincy Jungle. So, the Baltimore Ravens are the team to beat in the AFC North. All right. You want to go to the Super Bowl, you want to win this division, you're going to have to beat the Baltimore Ravens. And last year, they had an incredible offense with Lamar Jackson doing some great things in the running game and the passing game. But today, I want to focus on that running game because that is what is really unique about them is how they run the football, and what they're able to do because they have such an athletic quarterback as Lamar Jackson. So their top plays, not surprisingly, the top play they had last year was the zone read play. It is an option based offense after all. But number two is power, which really sets them apart a little bit more because most teams in the NFL are all about the zone. All right, are very zone heavy. So they do run a little bit more power than a lot of other teams. And there is an option component to their power game as well. So we're going to focus on those two plays and some other plays that kind of work off of those and complement them. All right. So with a zone, all right, zone is a zone concept, which means most of the players on the field are working in the direction that the ball is going to go. All right. At least that it's initially going. You can block the defensive end in different ways. You might have somebody coming back across, but generally, just about everybody's going that way. And that's the way the zone double teams or combo blocks, they're often called, will work. All right. They're working in the direction of the ball carrier. Power is a down scheme play. Now, I say down scheme. Some people say gap scheme. Some people say man scheme. I call it down scheme. And the reason is because these double team blocks, all right, are working down. All right. They are blocking down. So we will refer to these as down doubles. So we'll take a look. Now this is power. All right. And I talk about down doubles. So down block, not going with the run, going away from the run. All right. We have a down double here between the tight end. All right. It's really an H back who's motioned over and the left tackle. They've got a 4 technique here, head up on the tackle. They're going to double team back to the linebacker. Okay. Double team back to the linebacker. All right. Now you hear a lot about the Mike linebacker. And obviously, a defense might have a guy they call the Mike. They might have a guy they call their middle linebacker, whatever. But when the offense is declaring the Mike linebacker, it doesn't matter what position they play, right? It's about how their scheme works and understanding these double team blocks, these combo blocks, who's picking up, a certain rusher if it's a pass play, things along those lines. So the Mike linebacker, all right, and whoever you declare it as depends on your rules. But the Mike linebacker is the linebacker that you're going to work that double team block to. All right, so this is their Mike linebacker double team back to the Mike. All right, we'll take a look at that. Double team. All right, and then the tight end does a good job. As that backer's starting to flow, he comes off the block, picks it up. A good job there. All right, now we've got the left guard. He's going to down block on the nose tackle, right? Who's in a 1 technique here. Left guard, down block, nose tackle. Very good. The center, he's going to down block way over to this 3 technique. Why does he have to do that? Because they're going to pull around that right guard, he's going to pull around to the left and lead up for the linebacker. All right. Now, that's not an easy block, right? There's a lot of space to cover. And if this guy shoots the gap right now, that can be a problem. So the right tackle is going to step down to prevent that guy from running straight through the gap. And then he's going to hinge to cut off any kind of pursuit. So we'll take a look at that. Block back, step, hinge. All right. So what does that leave us with? All right. That leaves it with a few guys here. All right. There is this guy we would declare as a linebacker. All right. Basically when you're looking at your run schemes, look, if it's not a corner and they're not, they're at that second level, it's a linebacker, right? Essentially, because you got to block them like one, even though, that guy's not really a linebacker. All right. But where he's at, you're going to consider him a linebacker. Now, interestingly enough, I would think they would pull around for that guy. I'm not sure if this is what they're supposed to be doing or not, but um, they actually bring in a receiver to block that guy with. All right. So there's really nobody left for the guard to pull around to. He's going to end up kind of picking up the guy who's in front of this receiver as he loops in. So he's looping around, pulling around. All right. Leading up the hole. All right. And that leaves one guy unblocked here. It's the end man in the line of scrimmage. Okay. The edge player. One of the defining characteristics really of the power play is we're going to get a kick out block on the edge player from the fullback. Bam, kick out, leading up the hole. Okay, we get a little sidestep here from the back, leads up the hole. Who makes the tackle? All right, actually ends up being that end man beating the block and getting in there. Obviously, you gain some good yards on that, but that's who picks it up. Now, like I said, there is an option component that they can run. I mean, and they can very well open the other direction and run the power, open the other direction, read the backside on it. And we see Lamar take off in those situations. We see them run nakeds off of this, where they're just depending on everything to flow, even with him turning his back and going around the backside. But we're going to talk about the quarterback power read actually right now. All right. So the quarterback power read. So this is quarterback power, right? The quarterback is the one running the power play. And we don't have a fullback here, which means we don't have that kick out block, right? So who's blocking the defensive end? It's going to be a read. All right. Nobody's blocking him. You're reading him. So here, again, we've got the end man on the line of scrimmage. That's the guy they're going to be reading. His hips stay square to the line of scrimmage. All right. They stay square. He's heading upfield. All right. So that's a keep. Quarterback's going to keep it. Notice the back's alignment. Now, the Ravens love to be in pistol. All right. And it's ridiculous proportion how much more they were in pistol last year than any other team in the NFL. They love the pistol with the running back behind the quarterback who's in shotgun. This is a true shotgun look, though, right? No back behind him. Back is to the side. That's just shotgun, not pistol. When they're in this, they like to pass a little bit more. All right. It's much more heavy pass as opposed to run. All right. Running out of the pistol. That's what they want to do. And that's why they put that guy in the pistol so they can kind of get a downhill running game from the shotgun. Here, they're side by side. They're even. All right. So again, like I said, this is good for pass protection. They like it in pass protection. But especially when he's even and he's a little wide like this, is to take that wide path. Okay. The back tells you a lot. Shows you he wants to go on that wide path. All right. So he's going on this wide path. That's going to freeze this linebacker. He's staying square. Now, I don't know. Maybe he's not threatening him quite enough, but this guy makes a really incredible athletic play. All right. He shouldn't be able to play both these, especially with Lamar Jackson, but he comes back and he is able to make the tackle on that. So that's a really good job by the defender. But this gives you a good idea, and it was a good read. All right. That's the read that they should make because, hey, guess what? He's got to tackle that guy, right? You give the ball here, he's definitely going to tackle him. He's going to tackle him for a loss. So that's the right read. Now let's go back up front again. All right, remember we got down block, so really be like a down double here. But guess what? That guy walked up, so they pick him up anyway, right? We've got the guard pulling around, so we're going to have to down block to the 3 technique. We're going to have to step and hinge. So we'll take a look at those 2 guys working together. Boom, boom. All right. Didn't really have to do too much in the step and hinge. All right. That leaves Hightower here flowing across. So who's going to pick him up? That guard. Guard pulls around, picks him up. Nice little block there. All right. And this H-back tight end guy, he's going to leave this guy alone. He's going to go out and he's going to block that invert player. All right. That slot defender. So that's the power read. Really, it's a power play. All right. But they're not blocking the end. right, the end man on the line of scrimmage, the edge player, and they're going to threaten him with that running back, and they'll give it if he's bending down, if he's staying down, if he's not in position to make the tackle on that, they'll give it. But here obviously because he was square, that's why the quarterback kept the ball. All right, now before I get to the zone read, I want to talk about outside zone because really outside zone, if you're going to run power, you want to run outside zone, all right, because you're kind of affecting the same sort of area, and it's really best to have both in your offense. If you want to be all about outside zone, having the power component's gonna help you out. If you want to be all about power, you want to be a power team, have outside zone. So this is the outside zone. Again, now we're getting on that track. Everybody's working to the side of the play. All right. But just like we see with inside zone, they can swipe guys across to take care of pursuit. So we get a motion man first. All right. And then this H-back does come back across. All right. So he's coming back across. Not gonna let anybody bend down the line of scrimmage and pick it up. But then just look at this offensive line, right? They're taking a real wide path, right? All right, kind of like turning their hips almost, taking a real wide path. So we still have really, really double team blocks here, right? This is going to be a solo. He's got to get out here. He's got to get this guy, all right? And then these two are going to be responsible for these two. Okay, now both taking a real wide path here, right? The right guard and the center. Look, the center gets his hands on that guy. He gets out there, gets his hands on that guy, but then look at his eyes. His eyes are going back right here. So if this guy stunts, he goes to the inside, right? You don't want if the guard outruns him, you don't want to be able to take the back door on the guard. So the center's got to be there. All right, now he's got control. The linebacker's approaching. He comes off, and he makes that block. All right, so really like a C-gap play, like that power play. And now, we're seeing that edge player kicked out now by the tackle instead of the fullback. All right, so giving him a little bit of a different look. And again, just flowing a little bit differently to the double teams. Okay, again, we're kind of reaching on the backside, reaching through that up to the linebacker level, really kind of sifting through it, making sure that guy doesn't bend like crazy. But he'll pick up the linebacker, the linebacker flows, and that guy sits. All right, so that's how the outside zone works. Now they can run outside zone with the quarterback as well. It's the advantage to having an athletic quarterback. Gives you an extra body there. So here we're going to see that same look out of the offensive line. Again, we have a running back who's offset. All right, he's not in the pistol. He's offset. All right, there's always a reason for that. Sometimes it's the pass. All right, sometimes it's because they're gonna run the power and we're gonna move him across. But here it's because he's in position. Really, he's basically like a fullback. He's a lead blocker right there. And he's going to read it just like he would if he was the running back. Okay? He's going to work down the line with his zone. He's going to read. He's going to make the cut. Lamar should be doing the same thing. And that gives Lamar a lead blocker working through the gap. Okay? Now I'll take a look at the doubles real quick. Okay? He's going to work out here. Now this is a little bit different. when you look at a true 3-4 with a zero technique, there's some different ways to do this. Who are you going to declare the mic? Where are you going to take the double team to? All right, here it looks like it's these two are double teaming these two, and he's going to work straight up. All right, which works out very well for them. All right, and again, we see him, the left tackle, stepping through. Give him a little shutter there. Working up. Now, I also want to talk about the pin and pull, all right? Because this is really essentially an outside zone play, even though they don't truly zone it, all right? And you see, I remember Ohio State when Jim Bowen was the offensive line coach, offensive coordinator there. They used to run a lot of this. It was back under Jim Tressel back in the day. This is kind of how they would run their zone a lot of the time, was as more of a pin and pull. So think about this, all right? In a zone, you're going to have these two guys are going to be responsible for these two guys, and these two guys are going to be responsible for these two guys, right? And you probably block out here, you block out here, all right? This would be a zone combo double block, right? Combo block here, all right, working up. They're going to do the same thing. It's going to be the same two guys responsible, but they're going to do it a little differently. They're going to pin and pull. So he's going to block down. He's going to pull around. All right. So maybe you don't feel great about this tight end getting out at the edge, whatever it is. Right. So they're going to block down, pull a tackle out to kick out on Hubbard. And it's the same thing here. Block down, pull the center around, still looking for the backer, but now getting around. Okay. Again, backs offset to the side. Why? Because that's a good path for outside zone. Pulls around, gets up there, right? And we see some good pursuit and a pretty quick stop here for the Bengals defense, actually. All right, so that is the outside zone. So now that we're talking about zone, let's talk about inside zone real quick before we get to the zone read, just to make a little bit more sense of it. Now, I mentioned before that you can take that fullback and you can take a fullback or an H-back and whip him across the formation to block out on the backside edge player, all right, the defensive end, the backside edge player, whatever you want to say. And like, look, you can do that, and there's a lot of different ways to block the backside of zone, and that's kind of what it's all about when we look at different variations on how you run zone. This is going to be a little different. This is going to be a zone insert where they're going to kick out the end man, and he's going to lead up for the backer. All right. So as we look, we'll take a look at the play side. Now this is going to be tighter, right? This is an inside zone, not an outside zone. So we're not taking that same wide path. You're not seeing that line really opening up their hips. He's going to block out. He's going to block out to the 3 technique. And then we have the center and the right guard working the double team here. This would be the declare Mike in your inside zone scheme is going to work up to that linebacker. Okay, so working up to the backer. All right. Look, the center's got that guy lined up right on him, right? So he's stepping to it right away, but he's got his eyes up, and they're getting a fast flow from this linebacker into the gap. So he comes off, gets a body on a body. They insert the H-back here for Schobert, the other linebacker. All right, Schobert gets off, makes a play for a gain. All right, but he comes off and makes a play on that. All right, so that's kind of the basics of inside zone. Now, zone read is, you can run it from outside zone. They're really running more of an inside zone with it, though. All right, with zone read, you're reading that backside end. All right, so that's how you're accounting for the backside end here. You're not blocking out with the tackle. You're not whipping back with an H-back or a fullback or somebody like that. All right. You are accounting for him by reading him. All right. So as we take a look here, and they love to do this, by the way. All right. They like having the fullback away from where the quarterback's going to go and to bring him around to be a lead blocker really for the quarterback. All right. And look, I'm always referring to positions. I refer to the position, not to the player, right? I realize this is a tight end. He's aligned as a fullback. We're in the pistol, all right, with an offset, fullback there to the weak side, all right, away from the tight end. So once again, we're reading this guy. Nobody's going to block him. He's going to release wide outside, get out there, get in front of the quarterback to block. We're going to have a double team combo block here, a double team combo block here. All right. And again, we're blocking for the back right away, right? They think about blocking for the back. All right. So they're engaged. He's engaged here. These two are engaged. Look, he's got his eyes there to get up to that backer. These two engage. All right, that's the center and guard. All right, center and left guard. These two are looking for the linebacker as well to get up. And he's coming around for that other backer. So the end's got to make a decision. All right, the end's got to make a decision. And here, he starts to bend down, right? He starts to bend down. So Lamar pulls it, gets out there, follows his lead blocker. And that's a big game. All right. So that's out of the two back. Like I said, they like to do that out of the two back, but I think, we're used to seeing them, the zone read a little bit more, and, the way the spread teams, college teams run it, you see it out of one back, and they can certainly do that as well. All right. So here is another zone read. All right. Out of pistol. They send the motion. Right. Now they're bringing this motion man, and he's going to be the one that's out there lead blocking. All right, if the quarterback does keep it. Here's a give, though. All right, this is against the Patriots. All right, and they give the Patriots defense some pretty big problems with this. Okay, so zone blocking out to here. All right, this is going to be your double team, and that's going to be your Mike linebacker. They got their eyes up. They're looking to flow to that. Never really ends up coming off. Doesn't really matter, though. All right, so those two are working to here. All right, and then we've got the backside tackle, and we've got a 3 technique here. I'm sorry, that's a 5 technique. So that's the other double team, right? That's the backside. So they're not working to the mic. They're working to the first backside of the mic. They do get up there, get some contact on that. And then who are we reading? We're reading the end man. We're reading number 53 here, right? So what does he do? He hesitates. All right, hips aren't really square to the line of scrimmage, but look, Chip Kelly refers to the read as an unless. All right, that's how he teaches it. Right? It's a little different when you have Lamar Jackson. You probably want him to keep the ball sometimes, but all right, Chip Kelly would tell guys, look, you give the ball unless that guy's going to make the tackle. If this guy's not going to make the tackle, give the ball. And guess what? Nobody makes the tackle. It's a touchdown. All right, so now let's take a look at what it would look like for the quarterback to keep the ball. Again, against the Patriots for another touchdown. Okay. Look, first of all, look at this defense. All right, the defense has more over here. They shifted. All right, so now they're pretty balanced, but the defense is over here. All right, so they want to affect this guy. All right, they're going to read. Sorry, they want to affect this guy. They're going to read that backside and know they have enough to block over there. All right, for that quarterback to keep it. Okay, he's coming down hard. The H-back picks him up, and really it's this guy out here that they're going to read, right? He is bending down hard, and there's nobody out there. That's an easy touchdown. That's walking in. Now, look, it's all right for him to bend down. All right, it's all right to play a defense where they bend down, where they shoot down the line of scrimmage. But you've got to account for the quarterback if you're going to do that. So really, it's going to have to be this guy. This guy's going to have to kind of loop around. He can't be playing the running back so hard. But he doesn't. He steps in. Now there's nobody there. So playing the options is all about playing assignment football. You've got to have assignments, and just because the flow of action is going one direction, you've got to have one guy that's always accounting for that quarterback. All right, just like on a speed option, something like that, somebody's always got to be accounting for the pitch. All right. And they can run like a triple option look out of this. We've seen them do some of that stuff with either a bubble or a receiver coming in motion and getting into pitch phase. They can do that stuff. They can do RPOs. Really, they run out more off of the outside zone look with a slant or an out on the backside. They're going to read the backside outside linebacker, keep him from pursuing if he's pursuing. They throw the ball out there. So, those are all things that can evolve and are just other components of the option game. Really, the RPOs just comes off. It's just another kind of triple option, basically. Another way to get the read and get the ball, hopefully, out of the quarterback's hands as well. All right, and then finally, we're going to talk about duo. So you hear a lot about duo, and there's a confusion sometimes with duo and zone because they can look a little bit similar. All right. And really, I think duo is an incredible play to run as a complement to the zone read. And we talked about that with outside zone and power, how it's important to run both. I think it's equally important, maybe more important, running duo with the zone read. So we'll take a look here. Now, you could absolutely run like a zone read here or an inside zone here and have this guy kind of come back and work zone doubles. All right. But these are true man doubles where they're trying, these are down doubles, excuse me, where they're really trying to get movement and they're not flowing. All right. They're not flowing and expecting it to flow. All right. So they're going to double team here, work up. All right. Again, that's a down double, working up. And this fullback is really the motion man, is the fullback working the kick out. So you have down, kick out. And that opens up a great little running lane right there. Again, as you're used to it, look, this looks like the zone read, right? And again, they're not really zone blocking. But if you're this guy and your eyes are in the backfield and you see that tight end stepping away from you into a block, they're going into a double team block. You see the quarterback is turned in your direction, and you see this. Look, that looks like zone read to you, right? So you're going to play it like zone read. But now, bam, that motion man's coming and blocking in on you. So again, it's how do you affect these people, put them in difficult situations? And that's it. You run one thing that looks like another thing. So it makes life a little bit more tough on that guy. All right, and here against the Dolphins, it opened up a great little running lane for them. So, look, they run a lot of different stuff, and this is kind of a basic rundown, but obviously they're running a good amount of counter. They're running some speed option jet sweeps. I mentioned the RPOs. I mentioned the triple option looks, which is really just to offer the zone read with a bubble or a motion man, something like that for the pitch. They run a lot of different stuff. But these are kind of the main components of it, and this is just kind of give you an understanding of down blocking versus zone blocking and what they're doing with those reads and how those reads work. So keep on coming back. We will have some more information. I broke down a lot of games on the Ravens, and we'll have some more content coming up on different formations they run, some of the heavy back sets, some balance, things along those lines. So make sure you're coming back. But thanks for checking out the video today.